So today I'm going to make a fresh salsa. I got all these tomatoes, onions, and peppers from Mexico. Basically, that's where they come from. And we'll show you how I'm going to prepare them and make the salsa, and then we'll try it tomorrow morning after it sits in the fridge overnight. So this is kind of what it looks like. These chilies I got at my local Mexican store. They're straight from Mexico, and the local farmers in Mexico. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these in quarters. I'll put them in a pan and I'll fry them down. I'll get this as little as I can. When I start, I'll put the onion in first because I want the onion to be cooked down pretty good. I want it soft. And then these ones, not as much, but I want them soft as well. And then these ones we can cut down into littler pieces, and we'll put those in there, and those just the same softness as the tomatoes. But before we start, we're gonna add these dried chilies I like to use. I saw that they had them in the store. They're called chilies moritas, and they're a smokier chili. So I'm gonna add those to a little bit of water in the pan first, get those hydrated. And then once I get those hydrated, I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic, and then I'll always add a little bit of salt for flavor. You're gonna wanna boil them in water for about 30 minutes. Cover it with a container top over there. Let it absorb all the water into the dried chilies. And then once you get them, you're gonna wanna put them into a blender. You could either add this to the boiling water or add it to the blender. I'm gonna add it to the blender this time, where it's garlic, a little garlic flavor. And then all you're gonna do is blend this down, and then we're gonna use this later. So just put this into a bowl because we're gonna wanna blend other ingredients. You're gonna wanna add a little bit of oil to this one. And same thing, just quarter those. Cut this one as little as you can. I'd start with the onion, cook that down first, and then go to the peppers, and then the tomatoes last, and get just a little bit of cook on there. And then we can blend it all together, put it in the fridge for the night. Should be pretty good. This is kind of what you want for your onions. You want to get a nice char on them. You don't really want them at all oniony flavor. You can do that in some salsas, but the one I like to do is kind of like this. You want to get them pretty good char on them, soft, and then when you get to that point, you can add I'm gonna add these serranos. These serranos are actually straight from Mexico. Every one of these ingredients are from Mexico. I go to my local Mexican store, and it's got all the spices, foods and stuff, and all these ingredients come from the farm in Mexico. So that's what I'm gonna put in here, the serranos. I'm gonna stir them around. And basically same thing when you get a char on these as well. And the reason you start with the onion, because the onion always takes forever to char down. So we start with the onion first, get that going. And then the serranos, you don't have to have too much of char, just a little bit on them. And then once we get there, we'll add our tomatoes. Get those charring in there. We'll cover it for a little bit to make sure everything's got heated. And then before we cover it, we'll add our mixture here to here. And then at the very end, we'll blend all this stuff together, put it in the fridge overnight to marinate. Make sure you add salt to taste. Don't add too much salt, but just enough. And this is gonna be a delicious recipe. And then also, what you can do is, if you like the cilantro flavor, you could also add a little bit of cilantro to the mixture as well. It'll turn out really good as well. So I had my salsa marinating all night, and it looks pretty good. It's got a unique color, orange. We're gonna give it a try. I think it's gonna be a little bit spicy and a little bit smokier flavor as well. So let's give it a try. So I'm gonna try this the salsa. It looks pretty good. I used fresh and dried chilies in this one, and fresh tomatoes, onions, straight from Mexico, from the farms out there. Appreciate the farmers that made those. Let's give it a try. So that is delicious. It's got the sweetness of the fresh tomatoes. The onions are cooked perfectly. The nice kick of the serranos, and then you got the smokiness flavor of the dried chilies, and then you just got the right kick of salt, and then you got a little bit of the garlic. I would give this one a thumbs up. This one is really good salsa right here. It's got a different color to it. I didn't use a lot of tomatoes. I used a few, and then I used the dried chili slash fresh ingredients, and that combo turned out really good. I would suggest trying this salsa recipe if you like salsas. This one's a good one.